Well, there we can see the cars getting ready to go then. So we go into the next one. This is the PS4. This is Group A. This is the quarterfinals. 5 will be narrowed down to 3 in this one. Everyone looks ready to go, and we are about to get underway then. We ride on board with Andre Belchior, and at the moment Andre getting a very good start, going straight into the lead, but this is a long stage. Visibility is going to be a little bit better in this one. They won't have the risk of losing their headlights either, so that's going to be good for them. They may lose him, but it wouldn't matter if they did or not. But going into an early lead, Nicolo Agrisone, the Italian driver, and it's all changing very quickly behind. But I'd say for some, as we said now, the approach is whether you push very hard on those snow tyres at this stage, or do you save your tyres for later on?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a little bit more difficult for these guys. You know, it's very dry conditions, so that means these studs are going to be wearing down pretty quickly. You know, the tyres are going to be getting hot. They're really going to be digging in to that surface. You know, they're a soft compound, so it doesn't take a lot of time for them to heat up. So I'm sure that they'll be excited for when the grip changes and it goes that little bit more consistent towards the end of the stage with the snow.
If you look to the bottom left of your screen, you can see the dots which tell us where the drivers are. That is just one dot. They're basically all together at the moment as we go into the second part of the stage. We start to work our way uphill. Big elevation change in the Monte Carlo rally. Prades de l'Art is the stage that we are on. 1,500 feet of elevation change, 6.1 miles as well. So very demanding stage. Let's go on board then for a little bit while we're in the tarmac, Katie.
Yep, so we're on board with P1 at the minute. You can see the positions are really swapping around below, but he seems to be pretty consistent at the front, setting the pace nicely for everyone. He's really using all of the road, and you can tell he really knows this stage well. He could just see on that inside of that hairpin, he could clip that corner, cut it a little bit onto the grass, but then he knows exactly where that rock sticks out. Just like we saw on that left-hand corner, he's not completely on the left-hand side, because if you touch that, it could send you into a spin, and that will be detrimental to your time.
It is almost, you've got to know 2 corners ahead in rally, isn't it, where you're going. You've just got to trust those notes and know that if you're coming round a blind left and it's a left 4 or whatever, you've got to know that however much speed you're going to carry, if you know it's right, then you're going to be just fine. And
what's so cool actually about this version is that the pace notes they're getting are so advanced. You know, you've got the top co-drivers writing them. These guys are trusting them completely. I mean, I'm sure by now they probably know the stages as well off by heart because they've been practicing them all week, but at the same time they've got the backup. That co-driver is always a couple of corners ahead with the pace notes, and also telling them about the conditions. You know, it might be a left, but it might have extra snow or extra ice, and that's something that you get at Monte Carlo. You know, your weather crew will go through and they'll be able to tell you the changes and conditions up ahead.
In a long stage like this, Katie, how hard is it to keep yourself composed and calm and know just how much you're pushing is enough? You don't have to go over the limit and take yourself out of contention. How hard is it to keep yourself calm and know what I'm doing now is just fine?
Do you know, I think Rally Monte Carlo is completely separate to every other rally in the calendar. There is no rally that's as unpredictable in the conditions. You know, it's difficult to test for it. The week before, it might be really snowy and then that might have melted, a sudden change in temperature, and you've got very different conditions for the actual event. So it's one of those things you just have to go with it. Experience pays dividends here. Kilometers in your car, really trusting your co-driver and a weather crew. And really important is knowing the area. You know, if you can get some local guys in the area as your weather crew, that helps massively because they're able to give you the advice. They think it will be light at this time, which means the sun's going to be on this side of the mountain, but actually when you go around to the other side of the mountain, there's going to be some more ice. A little bit more in the shadow. You can see here it's a little bit more slippery. There's some more ice patches around the hairpin there. Up the inside, now with 4th place. The position seems to be settling out a little bit now. The dots are all still so close. There's one dot, but actually, when you're looking at the times on the right, on the position board, it is stabling out a little bit.
Well, I can tell you, being delivered the first 4 splits, that first place, of course, Nicolo Agrisone was quickest, but there was only about a second between first to last. In fact, make that 7/10 through the second split. Once again, of course, Agrisone was quickest, but the slowest was less than a second slower. Again, less than a second from first to last in the third split, and likewise in the fourth split as well. It is extremely close. You'll see that to the left of your screen, the dots indicating where each of the drivers are. We'll do a full run through of the order. Nicolo Adrizzone leading the way at the moment. Andre Belcher, the Portuguese driver, is in second, but very close behind is Anton Brawson. They're changing places all the time, and coming into play now is Jose Rodriguez as well, the Costa Rican driver, and then we have Jan Beg at the back of the field. But second, third and fourth all changing. Two of those three drivers is going to go through. One of them will unfortunately miss out. Who's it going to be? It is very close to call.
Exactly, just a couple more splits to go. We're really coming into the last 3/4 of this race now. But it does seem that Nicolo Adrizzone is really up ahead. You know, he's got that extra little bit that it takes on this surface. Maybe it suits him a little bit more. He's just really sideways into that. You can see on the snow now, this consistent grip. They're able to push a little bit more because they know exactly what's going to be around the corner. You know, I don't think we're going to see any tarmac now towards the end of the stage. It's snow and it's ice, and that's consistent, which is what you want in rally.
Well, Anton Brawson, we're back with Adrizzone, but Anton Brawson, will go to him in just a second because he has just gone into third place. And you could see, changing from Adrizzone and Brawson, they look like they're pretty much at exactly the same corner. And Brawson loves the snow. Maybe he was saving his tyres because he is starting to move up the order now. He's gone into second. So was that what we were talking about, I wonder? Has he saved his tyres at the start and now he's starting to come into play in the second half?
Yeah, exactly. Rally is a marathon, you know, it's not a sprint, and that's one of the things. He's carrying the momentum. You can see it's a gradual uphill incline. These cars haven't got the power that the four-wheel drive cars have got, but they need to keep the power pinned, and you can see he's using that weight transfer from right to left really nicely. We called it a Scandinavian flicking rally. It's that weight transfer turning in one way, and then the momentum propels you back the other way when you switch the steering lock.
Well, the Swedish driver Brawson will know all about that, I'm sure, as he is making his way now through the long right-hander. Second place at the moment, third at Belcher, the Portuguese driver, sitting in fourth place, desperate to get through. The top three go through to the semi-finals. The following two will unfortunately be eliminated from the competition as we make our way now to the final two corners. It looks like Adrizzone is going to take the first place in the semi-final. Second place at the moment is Rodriguez. Rodriguez now taking the lead, the Costa Rican driver. Belcher's coming into play as well. It is very close. We've only got one more corner to go through the right-hander. Adrizzone is going to go through. It looks like second place. Well, the Costa Rican driver dropping down the order. Second place, just about there. And then we had Belcher just about stealing third from Brawson. Unfortunately, Jan Beg at the back of the field, but that is 1.7 seconds between first and fourth place, and 0.4 of a second between third and fourth.